Oh, and he'll be putting on the red light tonight at the Verde Dome. Sting is bringing his own These Are My Goddamn Songs I Fucking Wrote All of Them tour to Val Verde for one night only, and it's going to be really, really great. We're excited about this. We're excited he's finally here, and we're excited that once again, Jeff, he's telling us he wrote the goddamn songs.
I'm excited how aggro he is about it. As the angry man, I just love how Sting just wants to just scream at you. Those are my songs, goddammit.
This is your type of thing, really.
This is my type of thing, and I mean, you know me, I'm a huge Sting fan. I'm a surprising Sting fan.
It's very surprising that you
I'm
are
part
a
of the
Sting
surprising
fan.
Sting fan club. It's a wonderful group of people. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, is it an online community? Do you meet in person? Is it all Val Verde based? What is this, Jeff?
It's all on Reddit. It's all on Reddit, and it never gets questionable. I love it. Gotta love in Reddit. I mean,
gotta love Reddit.
I love it almost as much as Sting loves a red light.
Oh, my God. And he does love a red light.
I mean, he really won't shut up about it at the end of the song.
He will not.
I really want you to put on that goddamn red light.
Oh, my God. He's like, he doesn't want to share you with another boy.
Jesus. The amount that he repeats it, it's like, is it talking about the red light district? Or is he also just developing photos? Is he telling you, put on that red light? These chemicals are...
Now, Andy Summers thought it was about a dark room.
He thought the whole time.
Copeland was like, no.
No.
He's a horn dog. You know, Gordon's a horn dog. That's what it's about.
Gordo's a horno.
That's what his when he had that reggae band. That was his name in the reggae band.
Gordo's. I love that too. I love how they're always injecting reggae rhythms into police songs.
Well, they invented it. They invented it. It all
reggae.
Came from the police. It all
as far
came
as I'm
from the
concerned.
police.
As far as I'm concerned.
As far as I know.
It's all I know. As far as I know and as far as I'm concerned, the police invented reggae.
As far as I know and as far as I'm concerned.
That's another Reddit group I'm in. As far as I know and as far as I'm concerned.
As far as I'm concerned. And it's a lot of thoughts, a lot of
surprisingly,
theories.
Sting fans doesn't get as problematic as you would imagine.
Right.
As far as I know, as far as I'm concerned, Reddit group, that one gets a little testy.
705 on 108.9 The Hawk, the Wisp Turlington Show. Here with my good best friend, Jeff the Angry Man Garlock. Also, Kegstand is sick today, thank God. And so he's not in the rock and roll RV stinking it up, making it smell like patchouli.
No, but it does stink in here from something else.
Well, I think that this is your home.
It's not my home. I think it's who replaced Kegstand.
No. Well, I mean, that could be it. Boss Ron's son. You all love and know him from his very short show every, Wednesday morning at like 3 a.m. It's called The Hellhole.
My dad keeps moving it around.
So what is the time now, Robbie?
Now, sometimes it's Tuesday night, but at 7:47. And then sometimes it moves over to Wednesday mornings, and that one goes back and forth between 3:45 and sometimes 4:24.
That's good. I always say if you want people to catch on with something, you
change
want
the format.
You move it around.
Yeah.
You move it around. It's like that NBC show, Boston Common. You fall in love with it in the 90s, and then they move it to a Friday, and you're like, whoa, I can't find my Boston Common.
And I love Boston Common. I mean, that was a wonderful, fantastic show. I've never even heard of that show. Was that before my time?
It was probably before you were born, Robby Dalton.
Was there any porno grind as the theme song in that?
No. Oh. I don't know of any TV shows that start with porno grind.
The original Friends theme song was actually a porno grind song. It was a cream face song.
Yeah. So. How did that go? I'll be there for you.
Yes.
Oh, it was
wonderful. That's when the Friends was true and cult. And now it's just
back when they're cult. Everybody's talking about that on Reddit these days.
Did you get that Friends shirt at Target? Everyone's talking about Friends are cult. That's a wonderful shirt. Yeah, it's all distressed. Yeah. It's so distressed you almost can't read it, and that's the interesting part.
Distressed. Hey, I do want to say that we are broadcasting live from the Rock and Roll RV because a version of me, we're still figuring that one out, a version of me did a drone strike on the old studio. It's gone. We're here now. So the Rock and Roll RV is sponsored by the Val Verde Candle Factory. And their tagline, of course, we're just like Yankee Candle, except for the fact that we're still trying to get our smells right. And speaking of great smells, Jeff, they've got some new ones out today. Old Dog Smell Great candle.
Gotta love that old dog smell.
Maybe your dog passed and you're like, oh, God. Oh, God, I wish I could still smell my dog.
The only thing I miss about my dog is that old dog smell.
And you get that with this. What are some other smells they've got going on? And they refer to it as smells, not scents. If you go in there and say, I'm looking for a particular scent, they're gonna look at you like you just told them how to put together a pipe bomb.
Just a bunch of dullards not understanding what is coming out of your maw. But what I do understand, dinner at your agoraphobic uncle's cabin.
Oh, we've all been there. You got to go to your agoraphobic uncle's cabin.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Let's just say it's a hungry man. It's a hungry man. And it's the one with the dessert you don't want because it just never gets rid of that little block of ice right in the middle of the...
The brownie won't come out. It's cold and hot at the same time.
How is it burnt and stuck and ice cold in the middle? It was like, I don't know, talk to the mashed potatoes because those things ain't ever thawed out.
And your uncle, those are never thawed, man.
Those are never thawed out.
That's basically ice cream.
That's the other smell they have.
What is
mashed potatoes from a hungry man that never thaw out.
Scotty, our producer behind the glass. Scotty, get me 2 of those. Love that smell. A couple other ones that they have. A really big one, Frat House. Big seller for the Val Verde Candle Factory. And then you can't miss this one.
That's for all the fans of the Frat Pack.
Oh, my God, yes.
Remember the Frat Pack?
Frat Pack. What was the Frat Pack?
How fantastic was the Frat Pack?
What was the Frat Pack?
When you had your Will Ferrells.
Was that... Wait, with that... you mean when they did all those college movies? Wait, Vince McMahon was in the Frat Pack? Wait, Vince McMahon acted in those movies?
You don't remember when Vince McMahon, he owned a stereo store.
Todd Phillips was like, we got to get Vince McMahon in here.
Oh, my God. If G.G. Allen wasn't dead, he would have gotten him in there. But instead, he's like, let's get Vince in.
Do you imagine Road Trip with G.G. Allen? They're like, we got to get that tape. We got to get that tape before your girlfriend finds it, and I'm going to stick it somewhere.
That sounds like a Roadhouse that I would like to hear. Oh, Road Trip. I was thinking Roadhouse.
I wasn't there. Oh, God, can you imagine?
Could you imagine Roadhouse with G.G. Allen?
Oh,
he's a philosopher. He's a bouncer.
And
he also will shove a hot dog up his ass and then eat it.
He will do that.
He will do that.
He'll do anything to protect the Roadhouse.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
it's
and
fantastic.
Then the last smell we got to talk about because it is a collaboration with our good friend The Edge. It's called Where the Streets Have a Name.
That's
whatever that smell is. That's what he's got going on. The Edge and Val Verde Candle Factory have combined forces.
Finally.
And I have no idea what. Scotty, have you smelled it? He's shaking his head. Yes.
Oh my
How does it smell, Scotty? And there you go. He's shaking his head no. So we can imagine that's what that is.
We can totally imagine.
Oh, we're going to have Farmer Dan in here in a little bit. That's going to be a lot of fun. Of course, he's
always fun when Farmer Dan
Always fun when Farmer Dan pops by. Of course, Farmer Dan, the proprietor for over 40 years of Shetland Creameries. And I don't know. I have heard a rumor, and I guess he will confirm it today on the show, Jeff. They are bringing Fall Festival days back.
Oh, my God. I bet you he will confirm it. I bet you he'll confirm it really slowly.
Yeah, I bet
like just the way Farmer Dan has a voice for radio is what I've always said.
Molasses.
Just slow and just what drive time needs in the morning.
Oh, that's the thing. Wake up, Val Verde. 7:14 if you're heading to your slob job. Farmer Dan, he's just like, that. And you're like, next one. And he's like, corn. And then you're like, come on. He's like, maize. Okay. But you remember what happened last year with Fall Festival Days. First, we had all of those college kids that went missing in the corn maze.
They were probably looking for their frat house smells.
Oh, my God. You just got us paid a little bit more. This RV may not stink tomorrow. With the money that the Val Verde Candle Factory is pumping in. He had the Hellgate in there that sucked the college kids through.
As a Hellgate's gonna do.
He got sucked through it. Yep. He got shot back out.
Yep.
And he's immortal now.
I mean,
why
much
wouldn't
a standard Fall Festival day right there.
If you were shot out of a Hellgate and you're brought back and suddenly you're immortal, why wouldn't you come back?
Why wouldn't you come back?
Why wouldn't you?
You're going to come back for the Yard of Nog at least. So,
oh, my God. Oh, the Yard of Nog.
Because that cider nog, now that they bring out that, apple cider nog.
Mix that.
There's nothing better than mixing fresh apple cider with some fresh nog right from the nog cow.
Slurp it down, you nog hog.
Oh, man.
Hey, speaking of wonderful businesses here in the Val Verde area, it's all we got. It's all we got, baby. We've got nothing but the best businesses around. I will say this about any other city. I'll say New York. I spent a lot of time doing radio in New York. New York, you don't have the businesses we've got right here in Val Verde.
There's one thing New York is not known for is having businesses.
There are people who are like, God, I wish there were businesses here.
I wish I had something to spend my money on here.
Ooh, God. But we have some of the best ones right here. And since 1987, people have been going to GEET's First Amendment Bookstore and Adult Emporium. Our good friend bringing them into the studio right now. Ladies and gentlemen, GEET Frost. Holy hell.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me. I had an opportunity to go through the Hellgate.
Did you?
Yeah, I had an opportunity, and I don't know if business isn't what it used to be.
Okay.
In the adult entertainment rental industry.
Ooh, sure.
And I can't live forever with the way business is now. So, we do have Nog Hog on DVD. Remember, it came out in 97, 98.
Yeah, Shannon Tweed.
We have Shannon Tweed's in it.
It was a softcore nog porn.
Queen of Cinemax. We really appreciate everything Shannon's done. But we need the listeners to come out. You don't just have to be a regular pervert. You can come be a regular. You can be a housewife. You can be the head of the student government. You can come down and you can rent some of our entertainment. We need you to come support us like you did back in the 1990s and the early 2000s.
Oh my God, the glory days, GEET.
Oh,
glory
days.
Oh my God. Oh God, I remember. I would go in there. Not only now, it's an adult emporium, but it is also a First Amendment bookstore. So you're carrying stuff in there like you want the Turner Diaries.
Yeah, we got it.
We
have so many books that have nothing on the cover. It's just in a block print title.
Or just the best. Just like if you want a book that is just hardly edited and with just no graphics.
Oh, yeah. Nothing.
But it's long. And it has a lot of ideas that you can pull out like one sentence from.
Yeah.
Anywhere. You can really open it up. Just put your finger in and just go, well, that's anti-Semitic.
Yes.
Yeah,
there.
Absolutely. And we had until it went out of print, we had the Jonestown Sings record. We have things that you just can't get in a normal store, but people find all this stuff on the internet. They find it on the dark web now, and they don't remember the way that they should. Just the feeling of having extremely uncomfortable unedited book in your hands. They don't know the feeling of having newsprint nudity from Germany. In their hands. And once they get it in their hands, they remember the good old days, and they can't stop coming back. But we need people to come down, rent Nog Hog, rent The Load Warrior, rent Creamy Cheeks, rent La Boomba. All the movies that we got when we first opened in 1996.
Oh my God, La Boomba.
You remember La Boomba?
Oh fuck, I watched
La Boomba. Of course I remember La Boomba.
I remember that thing when Burger Tools did the VHS tapes where they're like, your favorite movies.
Oh my goodness.
You can buy them with the Burger Tools meal. And I got La Boomba that way. I got a copy of Mrs. Doubtfire and a copy of La Boomba. Now, I don't think they were... What did you get?
My choices, I had Mr. Mom.
Oh, yeah.
La Boomba.
Oh, yeah.
Hoosiers.
Oh, yeah.
Hoosiers.
Nog Hog. But this one actually had just Gene Simmons doing a commentary over it.
Oh, that's great.
And then, of course, Batteries Not Included, that we all loved, and we all thought it was fantastic.
My favorite porno, Batteries Not Included.
Yes, that's, of course, it was not the heartwarming child movie. That's what kind of stopped the whole program, was everyone thought that it was the children's movie, but it was the adult film.
It was very confusing. The cover, I will admit, and maybe we should have done some quality control on our end, the cover suggested that they might have been in a similar family of movie. And we did have a lot of upset parents in 1988, 89, as I recall. But it was a common, VHS was new, as you will remember. It was the Wild West. It was the frontier was just.
It was a time where you couldn't just go buy a copy of Nog Hog. No. It was priced for rental. It was $129.99.
Well, I paid for that.
If you lost your copy of Nog Hog, you had to come down to the store. I had to show you in the catalog that in $1989 it was $129, and you had to pay for that.
That's like
That's
$4
how I
grand.
made my money.
And buy another
$4
copy
grand
of
today.
Behold a Pale Horse. You needed to have just one more copy of Behold the Pale Horse.
I spent $300 on copies of Nog Hog back in 1989, and
Just because Gene Simmons told you to. He just
He's like, you go to
And I know
Geet.
I don't ask for much from you guys, but
You don't. Geet.
And we've agreed that I won't identify how often I see you down at the store, but if you
Hell, I'll
would
say
let
it
people
twice
know,
a day. Twice a
That's
fucking
right.
day. I'm down there.
It is
Morning
that.
coffee.
Yeah. Oh,
Morning I like to go down there. Morning coffee.
Morning coffee.
I like to get in there, and I like to push open those saloon doors, because the nice part about your store is it's like the back of every video store back in the day, but the entire store.
The whole store
So
is
you just
that.
have to keep pushing through saloon doors and then beaded curtains to get
People
through
are-
to every section of porno.
We took out when we opened up. And we took over the I think it was a White Castle or something. It was an early fast food restaurant.
Oh, yeah,
We
it was
took that
totally a
over.
White
You can
Castle.
still smell it.
You can still smell it.
We
Yeah.
took out
I'm like-
every load-bearing wall and replaced it with cowboy doors. I don't know
yes.
how the building is still standing, but you need to do that to create the ambiance. that we have.
Ambiance is everything that you need in a store in Val Verde.
And
If
you
you
know,
don't
we
have
also-
ambiance. Come
we
on.
also have as you know, you've seen you buy it. We have Nog Champa. We have all sorts of before. And a part of our big business came from before the marijuana was legal.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We sold all sorts of chintzy little pipes that people really enjoyed. We have Bob Marley tapestries.
Oh,
We have the
Bob
classic.
Marley saying, "Take me to your dealer," and he's a gray alien too. All
Yes.
at once. That one's great.
Jim Morrison. all of the
Just
American
Jim Morrison.
poet.
Yeah, I don't. What is it about Jim Morrison and
Lizard
people who
Kid.
like the marijuana? That's what I've always wondered.
ride the snake.
Ride
The
the
Geeks
Ride the
First
snake.
Amendment Bookstore and Adult Emporium. There you go.
That's
Free commercial.
We
There,
have it all.
108.9 The Hub.
We have everything. We have drug rugs. We have if you want to wear,
drug
if you want to
rugs.
look good down at the county fair, we got the drug rugs.
Oh, yeah.
Roach clips with a feather. We have all of
Amazing
it.
roach clips with it. You know, I once bought an extra large shirt,
extra,
and it was the Flintstones, but the wives were blow-up dolls, and then Barney and Fred were having sex with the blow-up dolls, but
Of
the
course.
opposite wives, and it just said under it, "Got tricks." And it's just like, I was very confused of the combination.
That
See,
is-
I had a version of that, Jeff, that I wore like every day in 1990 that had the same picture, but it had a little cartoon bumble, and it said, "I can't tell the difference."
And it made you think.
It made me
And
think
that's what's
every
the
day.
problem.
It's like,
That's what the problem with people
whoa.
today. Maybe they don't want to think anymore.
Just
Maybe they
think.
don't want to just
Well,
think.
you know, you guys know too. We have the bumper stickers. We have the Nuke the Whales bumper stickers to let people know where you feel
Get
about
them
politics.
whales.
All
Get 'em.
sides are bad. We have the and you know this story. But the reason I started this story was I was at the county.
Val Verde County Fair, the only all year round county fair. Geet was
Wonderful
there.
fair.
You know about it? I threw the dart at whatever poster I wanted. I was going for a white snake poster, but I landed on a poster of 3 women, and it was just their breasts, and they were so cold you could see their nipples, and it said "cold 6-pack." I said, how do I supply this kind of product to the Val Verde people every day? And you don't even need to take a chance. You can intentionally go and buy it.
Just know that stuff is there. Like, if you want a poster of the 3-breasted lady from Total Recall, you're going to get it at Geet's First Amendment Bookstore and Adult Emporium.
That's right.
It's
Thank you.
there.
That's
It's
right.
there.
And you've got stuff for just people who don't want to be edgy. You know, you've got that Reservoir Dogs poster if you're a college student. I mean,
Scarface.
People who like
Scarface.
cinema.
Scarface.
Oh,
People like
no.
cinema.
Rising.
Exactly.
So
Cinema.
we still have, and you'd be surprised at how well it sells, all things considered, so many Heisenberg posters. Every imaginable.
goodness. God.
We have a poster for the periodic table, but it is in fact a Breaking Bad poster.
Oh,
You have
that's
everything
fantastic.
everything that you need.
It's like the show never went away.
If I could get a poster of just like Einstein with his tongue out, but he also has like a Punisher skull on his forehead, maybe that. I mean, that's just
like a face tattoo, of the
Punisher skull.
It's a little kind of against where we originally started, but we've really had to lean into the blue line iconography. So we have all sorts.
You're trying to keep your business afloat.
You got to keep your business afloat anyway.
Because that's the interesting part about the First Amendment is that if you're gonna
tell us, Jeff, what is the interesting part about the First Amendment?
Like, if you're gonna be reading a book about
719,
overthrowing the government that has no editing, you also want to really support the cops all at once.
There's
just keep them on their toes is what it's all about. Keep them on their goddamn toes.
Just because I have not ever understood the intellectual through line of the people who come into our stores does not mean that I can't keep them well supplied in everything that they want.
Oh my God. Geet, I love it. We're going to talk more about the store, but first we do have to go to traffic.
108.9 The Hawk traffic with Art Spart.
Wow! I would tell you to not panic, but people of Val Verde, it's time to panic! Get on your panicking shoes and start the mad panic dash, because we have traffic! And this is not because of cars. No! This is not because of planes! This is not because of planes, trains crashing into cars. Nope! It is, of course, traffic because of Bill Maher. Yes, I regret to inform you all he is in town, and that means our traffic flow is all akimbo. Now, he's not performing. No, ever since his disastrous 23-date run at the Val Verde Enormo Dome on his Did I Offend You Good tour, well, he was banned. Not for his content, but because of what he did to that green room. Just canned ham everywhere. We couldn't keep him out of Val Verde. Oh no, we couldn't, no matter how many times he wants to talk about being canceled here. Nope. In fact, Bill Maher has plopped down right in the middle of Hog Street. That's right. The entire set of his podcast, Club Random, is right smack dab in the middle of Hog Street. That's right, from his big kind of comfy looking, ultimately uncomfortable looking chairs, his wide selection of various tequilas and highball glasses, and so much cigar smoke. Now, he's not recording an episode of Club Random. He just seems to be living Club Random in the middle of Val Verde, screaming at anyone that walks by about the power of George Carlin and how you could not do what he did today, or about the woke mind virus, or just some rant about how ice isn't the same as it used to be. And it's all accompanied by plumes and plumes of cigar smoke. Now, Mayor David Lee Roth has called in the National Guard to get Bill out of here. And he says he ain't budging. That you can't tell him what to do as he keeps misquoting 1984. And as far as we can tell, is keeping his guest Martin Short hostage. It is a whole situation. In fact, it feels a little random. Oh, we have fun here. Unless we are listening to Maher. So do yourself a solid. Don't travel today unless you want to get in the Maher crosshairs. And that's traffic from the Burt Funeral Flowers traffic desk. I'm Art Spart on 108.9 The Hawk.
With Burt's Funeral Flowers, with Burt's Funeral
Scotty,
Flowers.
let's do weather.
It's time for weather on 108.9 The Hawk.
Cold, Scott.
If Bill Maher's out there doing his Club Random thing, he's freezing his Bill Maher ass off.
Maybe he should go warm himself up by going into the First Amendment bookstore and
there's a good plug there.
You would tolerate him.
Exactly, you would tolerate him.
If you
that's all you got to do with Bill Maher.
Bill Maher, if you want to be tolerated,
him.
You got to go over to GEET's First Amendment Bookstore and Adult Emporium. We'll talk more to GEET coming up. Right now, they are coming to the Verde Dome to play their final show. More on that coming up. It's Aerosmith on 108.9 The Hawk. Hey y'all, it's Big Truck, and it's time for the 108.9 The Hawk concert calendar, brought to you by Chestnuts, Val Verde's only all-male dancing review, announcing their Halloween show, Spooky Spooky Thunder Down Under. You don't want to miss it. Toot toot. Hey, on the 5th, Make sure you're heading on over to the Verde Dome to check out Aerosmith. In there, that's it. We're fucking calling it 80 show residency. And in their final show at the Dome, their plan is to blow up the Verde Dome, trapping them inside like a tomb forever. Now, the Val Verde Planning Commission has not approved that plan yet. Hey man, you like Leonard Skinner, but hate all that southern shit? Well, I can't say I agree with you, but I can say that you're gonna love seeing Val Verde's #2 Skinner band, This Smell, as they do the whole Street Survivors record dressed like the guys from Pavement. Makes no GD sense to Big Truck, but there's gotta be some damn weirdo out in Val Verde that's gonna love it. Hey, Lita Ford is back at Shooter's Bar and Grill on the 12th, but she ain't playing. Nope, she just loves their dinner specials. So if you want to eat wings with Lita Ford, fuck it, man, free country. Go on out there. Close My Eyes Forever, Val Verde's only tribute to the one song Lita Ford did that one time with Ozzy Osbourne, is strangely playing that night. And I'm guessing Lita's gonna throw her wings at them. And you know what? I don't blame her. And finally, Butt Weezer's going to be headlining Zazzers on the 21st, playing only the songs from Weezer's Ratitude album while being bent over and showing you their ass. Can't stop partying when you're watching Butt Weezer. And of course, that's too deep. Purple supports. And that's your 108.9 The Hawk concert calendar, brought to you by Chestnuts, Val Verde's only all-male dancing review. Remember about the Chestnuts. If you got nuts to roast, you can take them out back and put them in their roaster anytime, guaranteed. And I'm Big Truck saying a big old toot-toot to you on 108.9 The Hawk.
This Wednesday night, a former teen detective goes on vacation so that he can die. In the immortal horror classic that you remember renting as a child and you were like, I think this might be a kid's movie. And then when you watched it, you were like, no, this is not for kids at all. Based on the international bestseller by Christopher Norris, available on Rose Books, that when you read it, you'll be like, did they even read the book before they made the movie? Because this is nothing like the source material. Karen Black, Stacy Keach, Burgess Meredith, and Fabio Testi in Jean Rollon's classic, The Holy Day, on the Channel 8 Shocktoberfest, all September, October, November, and a little bit of December long, here on Channel 8, your home for great shit.
Ulrich. Ooh. Welcome to 108.9 The Hawk. We're back, and Skeet Ulrich ain't here yet, but that is the boys who are back in town.
That was written about Val Verde.
Most people don't realize that.
They don't realize that Phil Lynott spent a lot of time.
If they're going to fight, you better let them in Val Verde.
That's because
we're always fighting
Bar and
here.
Buffet.
That's right over there. They're always fighting.
There.
It's like a UFC match down there.
Always like a UFC match at Shooter's Bar and Buffet. You go down there. If you love UFC, you're going to love just the normal people that shop there. And, I mean, those are a lot of the people you see at GEET's First Amendment Bookstore and Adult Emporium.
Oh, my
GEET.
God.
Of course, we've got GEET Frost. He's been doing this business in Val Verde since 1987.
Since 1987. Speaking of Bill Maher, you recall we have a very randomly selected horror section, and we do have House 2.
Random.
Oh, the
Bill
second
Maher
story.
has been in.
He has been in.
He was in.
He was in. He has been. He tried to get himself out of it. Just like he tried to get himself out of the Amazon women in the avocado jungle of death. But, you know, it just can't happen. Can't happen.
We have it all.
The Bill Maher section is one of my favorite sections of videos.
And it is just House 2.
Yeah.
It is just House 2. I have to be honest. It's just House 2.
It's just House 2.
But I gotta say, he nails it. He nails it in that movie. When he goes up to that one comic relief guy and he goes, who are you supposed to be? Bozo the Clown? And then the guy says, no, I'm Bozo the Death Machine. I'm like, now we've got a comedy horror here on our hands. I mean,
I love comedy horror. I love comedy horror.
I love comedy horror.
Probably my favorite genre.
I don't it's not. I have no problem with Bill Maher. I just don't ever want to talk about current events, really. And
Understandable.
That's all he enjoys. So
I don't
like
pay attention to it.
A
I try not to pay attention.
It doesn't affect me.
No.
So why would I care?
Right.
Which is one of my favorite sections, your book sections in there.
It doesn't affect me,
doesn't
so
affect me, why should I care? Books are wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. We have so many Tony Robbins books in that section.
Oh, my gosh.
We have so many...
Time to feel good.
Susie Orman books.
I love...
We have all sorts of... It's not just smut.
No.
I can't say it enough.
It's not just smut.
I don't care what the mothers and the moms for liberty have said about us. We should be all on the same side. Freedom,
really should.
etc.
Really should.
You also have a really good music section there for me.
What's your favorite CD you've seen on our used rack?
Yeah, Robbie, you go there a lot. I see you going in all the time, Robbie.
I've always enjoyed that you're totally fine selling black metal with questionable National Socialist leanings.
Who am I to say what they mean?
Burzum didn't mean to burn down all of those churches and murder someone and be a white nationalist. He didn't.
No, I assume it was just a regular candle. It was just a regular candle. They were testing out the wet dog smell candle.
Just because the singer of Deathspell Omega was in a racist band doesn't mean they're racist. You just have to listen to their vague non-answers to questions about racism to know that.
Who am I to draw conclusions on the behalf of artists?
Exactly. You got to separate the artist from the art.
You guys can continue this at 2:35 a.m. or whenever Robbie's show is. Robbie, go back to your stool, Robbie.
Yeah, Jesus, we do not need to be talking about those sort of bands.
We're trying to go up in the ratings, not down. Christ Almighty!
I don't know. I think listeners of Aerosmith who are still with it, they have an open mind about people who have an issue or two with the government.
I have heard that people who don't have any problems with the politics or the sexual leanings of Aerosmith definitely love Burzum as well.
Wait a minute. Wait. What did Steven Tyler do and write in a book about it? And now you're just reading it and being like, whoa.
This was something that he always told us he did.
Have you done? It's the sound of my book. It's called Does the Sound in My Head, was it annoy you or offend you? I can't remember. And speaking of a lot of questionable things, ladies and gentlemen, coming into the studio right now to join our little round table of talking, ladies and gentlemen, Farmer Dan of Shetland Creameries, a Val Verde business legend. Just get on up to that mic over there, Farmer Dan. You'll be good to go. Hello.
Hi,
Farmer Dan.
Yes, Farmer Dan. You don't need to announce yourself every time. My God.
Over 40 years, Shetland Creameries. It's been doing the creams.
Farmer Dan, what's new in the cream business?
Thank you.
Glad you asked. We do a Colby. It's just really knocking the socks off everybody. It's got a little hint of Monterey Jack in it, so we call it a Monterey Colby.
All right, not a Colby Jack, which I believe is a cheese that exists already, but all right.
It's completely different taste.
Okay, fine, yes, sure.
And we got all these Weisenheimers coming in saying, I need oat milk.
Oh, boy.
I need almond milk.
Oh, boy.
I said, you're not going to find it here. Unless those nuts are coming out of a cow. And the only nuts coming out of a cow are their nuts, and they don't do milk.
But are you selling their nuts, though?
Okay.
Are you selling cow nuts?
Are you selling their nuts?
That's a good question.
No!
Okay, well.
They get to keep their nuts to make other cows, to give me the milks. And that's not what I'm here to talk about.
Well, that's a great... I'm glad you segued yourself.
That's a good
what
segue.
are you
I
here
really
to talk
appreciate
about,
that.
Farmer Dan?
Bringing back fall festival days. Shetland Creameries.
Wow.
Starting on the 15th. Come on out. Corn maze is back.
Okay.
I'm going to have a nog slide. Tallest nog slide in North America.
Is what I heard true that they're now giving breathalyzers to the tractor drivers for the hay rides?
Not true.
Thank
That
God.
is a dirty lie and rumor that's been going around. We do not breathalyze our tractor drivers. In fact, we recommend they get tanked. Because that Hellgate's still there.
The only way you're going to avoid a Hellgate and when you're on a tractor is if you are just hammered out of your gourd.
If you are sober driving around a Hellgate, the chances are good. You're going to go right into it.
That's why I'm always drunk while I'm at Fall Festival days now.
Yep.
I am spiking that nog left and right.
But the Nog slide,
Uh-huh.
tallest in North America,
Sounds dangerous. Love it.
1 mile up.
A little high.
Come on down. I say you go on up, you take the stairs.
Uh-huh.
1 mile up, the Nog spraying everywhere.
Oh, my God, everywhere.
You could even put your mouth up and get a little slurp.
Little mouth slurp. Oh, that's
You
fantastic.
get a mouth slurp.
Yeah.
From below when you're watching your loved one go down the Nog slide.
You can also get a mouth slurp down at the Emporium, but it's a little different.
Our slurps
It's a
are
little
Be a
different.
little. I've gotten a mouth slurp down there.
I
You
have
don't
heard about
want to.
the mouth slurps at the
Well, it depends
Emporium,
on
if you know what I mean.
it depends on who's
Put a
working.
quarter in.
Because you
It
do have
depends
good
on-
treats there. I do have to say, not to get, but
Oh, you do.
you have
You
wonderful
do
treats.
really.
Even though you sell the strangest porn and you sell all the
Yep.
First Man books, you have a great old school candy selection along
do,
with mouth
we do.
slurps. You've got
You got a
atomic
lot of rock
warheads,
candy.
every candy that makes you hurt, everything that's
We have that,
super
and it's a
sour,
great-
super hot.
Exactly. We like a little novelty pain with our sweets, and as you know, it's a great chaser for our quiche of the day.
We got
today
cider
we have a-
donuts.
You have
Yep.
to. Farmer Dan's not listening to you. He is just
We got
gonna barrel
cider
through.
donuts.
That's what he does.
The biggest
Sorry
you've
about
ever fucking seen.
that. Yeah, big
Yep.
cider donut.
How big do you want a cider donut, Geet?
A fist,
Bigger.
face,
Bigger.
I mean, a foot
big
and a leg up to the.
Bigger.
All right, well, a big one
Tractor
is
sized.
a tractor-sized cider
We
donut.
got
all right?
tractor-sized cider donuts.
How do you fry it to the middle?
We got a big fryer.
I got a
bet you
feeling it's
do.
not fried to the middle. I'm going to tell you that right now. Do
No,
not
it
eat the
is.
middle of that giant
No.
cider donut.
Probably doughy, I bet, but we'll see.
It's going to be a little bit like a mashed potato and a Hunger Man dinner, if you
Do you
know
have
what I
any?
mean.
Do you have deep fried anything that is not? Do you have like Oreos down there?
We are doing deep fried anything this fall.
You don't
Fall
know what you're
festival
getting
days.
until you order it, and then it's a big
You have-
surprise.
It's a big surprise. Is it an old blackberry? Could be.
Wow.
Is it
that's
shoe
amazing.
leather? Straight up? Might
Could it
be.
be shoe leather?
Could be.
We do a lot
Okay.
of we
Is
do a
it?
lot of business with the carnies, as you.
Oh my
imagine.
God, the carnies are terrible in Val Verde, and there are two places they love to go. They love to go to Shetland Creameries, and they love to go to GEET's First Amendment Bookstore and Adult
They love
Emporium.
they love to get a belly full of dairy.
Oh,
and let it
gosh.
slosh around a little bit, and then come on over and spend a couple hours in the booth to release.
I'm glad you said
Gotta
that.
check out that nog hog in the booth with a bunch of dairy in your belly.
We got the belly full of dairy hose. It's
Oh.
attached again this year, even though it killed 14 2 years ago. They said, Farmer Dan will never bring back the hose. And I did. And you open your mouth, and I turn on the lever, and it
Wow.
blasts 42 gallons into your belly.
I mean, that's beautiful. A couple of people dying shouldn't hold us back from having some.
If it were 43 gallons, then they would die. The human body can take 42 gallons.
Little known fact. You can.
Okay, that's really good. We're learning a lot here. We're learning a
The
lot
human
on
body,
all sides.
we've seen in many of our titles, the human body can take a lot of liquids.
The
A
human
high
body section of your
volume.
videos are fantastic. I mean, it is just
Oh, it's so
how
good.
much liquid
It's
can you
probably
shove
my-
into a human
Yeah.
body?
How much
also-
liquid can go in? How much liquid will come out? That's what we have. We have a whole Cronenberg inspired section.
Body horror, but straight up porn. Now that's just
Exactly.
really when it becomes.
It's wet
something I'm-
inside. It's wet outside.
Wet outside.
That's what bodies do.
Put it on Cronenberg's gravestone. Put it on his gravestone.
You want to make your own cinnamon broom?
Yeah, I guess I want
Cinnamon
to make
broom?
You can make it. We
Okay.
got all the broom parts.
Does it have a churro handle?
And we got
Oh, that's fantastic.
No.
sounding. All
Oh,
right,
sorry.
easy.
no
Jeez.
churro handle.
I'm sure that.
Idiot.
Yeah.
Who would say that? Such a thing. Why would you do a churro handle
All
on
right,
this?
Farmer Dan, chill out. This is
Okay,
you're
calm
both guests
down.
here.
My God, you're both guests
I'm
here.
not saying you're anti-American, Farmer Dan,
But
Not,
sounds like
by having a churro at your.
not even part of
Fair.
America.
Oh,
wow. Oh wait, this is a new revelation.
What do you mean by that?
I don't even know where you're going with this, Farmer Dan.
When Val Verde signed on to the Constitution in 1982,
how
I tell
it
you too,
works.
hell of a year.
Hell of a year. We celebrated every July 17th right here in Val Verde.
17th, 1982.
The July 17th signing of the Constitution for Val Verde to join the United States of America.
I didn't sign.
Oh,
Right,
Was there a
we all
reason?
didn't have to sign. As far as I did,
Well, I
we all
didn't
have to
sign.
sign?
Everyone had to sign it.
Oh, my goodness.
I signed it.
I
You
mean, I
guys
guess I
didn't
did sign it. I just assumed that we didn't all have to sign it, but oh, my goodness. Geet, did you sign it?
I don't sign documents.
Well, then
Oh, my goodness. Did
it
you
sounds a lot
secede
like
as well
Geet and
from
Farmer
America?
Dan are part of the United States of America.
Oh, my goodness. You got a lot of
so
opinions
sorry.
about our Constitution, not to be a part of America, then, it seems like, Geet. Not to get angry here, but I'm just starting to
I mean,
notice
1
it.
mile up, that's still my country. And that's where you're going to sit your ass down.
Farmer Dan, it's interesting seeing you outside of the store where I usually see you
I like to come
several
in.
times a day.
I like to come in because my copy of Nog Hog wears out all the time. Real tracking issues.
Oh, my God.
And I go in and I'm like, the gate looks at me and he just nods. He pushes a fresh copy of Nog Hog, and it's brand new. How many copies do you keep on hand for when Farmer Dan comes in?
Well, we always want
tweed.
We always want 5 or 6 during the holiday season.
Oh, you gotta.
Particularly around pumpkin spice season.
It's a great stocking
like a-
stuffer. It's a great
Oh, my
stocking
God.
stuffer.
The pumpkin
Definitely.
spice scene in
I
Nog
can't-
Hog. Steamy as
Huge.
steamy
I
as
can't
hell.
believe how often you come in, Farmer Dan, for someone who wears overalls to rent so many adult movies. It's really a challenge that I appreciate that you take up on a regular basis.
Well, I like to support other Val Verde businesses as
And you
they've
do.
always supported me.
You do. Well,
Shetland Creameries.
I do find our customer base are largely people who have not adopted the internet, and I appreciate that about
What?
you.
He doesn't
The
even know
internet.
what the internet exactly.
He has no
you,
clue
you
what-
have no idea
What
what
is
you're
the
talking
what?
about.
The internet, where there's a lot of the same things that we provide, an infinite amount,
But without
free.
that mom and pop feeling, like it's
But
just
free,
like, what
absolutely.
do you,
But
what are you
never
gonna do?
spend
So what? It's like something.
$7 on a magazine. On the
Anybody
internet.
can go on and order milk.
Anyone can go order milk. They can order Nog Hog.
You can pretty
they
much
can
go on
order-
any porn website, just type in milk, and you can get a
You can
fair
get a
amount.
fried
out
donut.
there.
You can get a fried donut that a comely young lady put their toes on. You can get anything.
Exactly, all from Goldbelly, all delivered to you
want.
by Goldbelly.
Definitely.
But it misses the tactile, the
can get
tactileness of
anything.
physical
okay, Farmer
media.
Dan, you're going to be okay.
Dan, you can get anything you want.
Why did you guys bring
made
up the
better
internet?
or
I
worse?
don't.
Why
We
did
have
you
it all.
bring up the internet? Farmer Dan's melting down over
Oh
here.
my God! You know what?
Your
Hey,
booking people didn't tell me not to bring up the
that
internet.
is true. No, Dan, I can help you out. I've got an idea here. Dan, here's
What?
my idea.
Okay.
Now, hear me out. We got Fall Festival days coming.
Yep.
We've got GEET's First Amendment Bookstore and Adult Emporium, established in 1987, that also got its start, its impetus at Fall Festival days at the state fair. Why
We're gonna have a
don't
nog slide.
why don't we bring GEET? You have your own stand at Fall Festival days.
Well, we got the vendor area. You can come put a
That's
table
the thing.
up.
Bring the
I don't
tactile,
care.
physical media of
That sounds
a
perfect.
$15 questionable porn magazine.
I don't care.
Yeah, maybe I'll bring down a couple of VCRs and we can set up some of the movies
my
on
goodness.
rotation so people can get a taste of what they're missing when they are exclusively about the I word.
We are having a screening of Nog Hog on the 17th. Shannon Tweed's going to be there for a Q&A session
That's so nice.
along with
She's-
Mickey Rourke.
I think that they're both taking
Carrie
some time away from
Elwes.
their. They're both taking some time away from their AARP magazine photo shoots and covers.
You can only do so many covers. I'm on next month.
Oh, it's
man.
going to look all
Holding
that
Big
hair.
old bottle of Nog, and I'm saying it says slurp it down.
You know, when you get one thing that I've noticed about Farmer Dan is sometimes he comes in and he's got so much eggnog in
Oh
his
my
beer.
god!
my God,
It's
crusty all
literally
the
covering
time.
everything.
It
Because I like to
smells
slurp
like
it.
baby vomit, but it
Oh,
looks like
that-
you've been enjoying.
what
You've been
you
taking
smell.
the hose. It's great.
I don't say what you smell like. Oh, come suck.
Okay, you
That
can't
That is a
say
new smell
that.
at
You
the Candle
cannot say
Factory,
that.
by the way. Is Farmer
Bearded Nog
Dan's
Hog?
face, and it just
Farmer
smells
Dan's
like
face. You get that down at the Val Verde Candle Factory.
They do have a candle that they say was inspired by our shop, and it's called Bleach Bucket.
Oh, that's
oh my god!
Yeah, it just smells like a bleach bucket.
My
That's
god.
also
Well,
the new. That's also the new Bill Maher CD, Bleach Bucket. It's
yeah, that's his new
fantastic that you've been
special.
selling
He's
that.
like,
It's a new special.
you know, Mars theory is like, we just got to make everything white.
He's saying he sees both sides, but mostly he's seeing one side. Is
I
mostly
love
what
looking
he's
at
saying.
both sides. I love
looking at both sides. That's only really one side.
It's all I do, and we're going to talk some more coming up. But right now, off their 1980 record, The Game, it's Another One Bites the Dust and Queen on the Hawk.
Hey, I'm Rick Sleet, and listen up. Want to buy your goddamn house? Every time I drive down the street and I see your house, I'm like, God, I want to buy it. And I won't even have a conversation with you about it. I'll just give you cash. That's the Rick Sleet promise. No conversation, just cold, hard cash. But you got to do something for me, and that's sell me your goddamn house. I don't care if you have childhood memories there. I don't give a shit that your grandpa built it by hand. I just want it for myself. I'll live there by myself. Just sell me your house. Seriously, what's your goddamn holdup? Sell me your goddamn house! Okay, I understand Rick Sleet can sometimes get a little out of hand, and that's sometimes a little off-putting, and that keeps people from selling their houses to me for cash, and I get it. If I were on the other side of this transaction, I'd be flipping freaking out right now. But I'm not on the other side of this transaction. I'm on my side, the Rick Sleet side. So sell me your goddamn house! Rick Sleet's Cash for Houses. To find out more, visit Rick Sleet, out in front of your house, right now. Sometimes I'm sitting alone in my house and I hear in the distance, "Grease bastard!" And I'm like, oh my, is that Robert Plant? 9 times out of 10, it's not. But that one time, we at least know Robert Plant's coming to your Zeppelin Authority every weekday night at 8. A belly full of lead with me, Grease Bastard. From the opening sounds of Good Times, Bad Times, to the final notes on Wearing and Tearing from Coda. I've got it all for you right here. It's a real belly full of lead with Grease Bastard. All the Zeppelin hits you could ever want, and all of the alternate songs you'd probably rather listen to on your own at home. I've got them. Grease Bastard with a belly full of lead every weekday night at 8, right here on 108.9 The Hawk.
I remember hanging out with my best good friend Bob Dylan.
Oh, man.
And he's like, hey, I just gave this song to this new guitarist named Jimi Hendrix. And I'm like, well, there's no way that song's going to be better than your version, Bob.
And you were right.
And I was right. It's not, but we played it anyway. Jimi Hendrix, all along the Watchtower on 108.9 The Hawk. And we are here. Farmer Dan fucked off. I think it was too much for him.
I could hear him just muttering as he walked out of the rock and roll RV. Just something about a new fucking cheese.
Yeah, some new cheese. He kept saying howda, which I think is how he says Gouda.
Gouda, yeah, I don't know.
But I think it's also the proper way of saying Gouda. He was just
Howda.
Oh, did you like my impersonation?
Dan and I sometimes we butt heads, but we do get all of our cheeses for our daily quiche from Farmer Dan.
Oh my God,
they
you gotta
are
get those.
largely fresh.
Oh, that daily quiche down there at GEET's First Amendment Bookstore and Adult Emporium. Like,
I love it. I always, that's when I get in there, like I said, that morning coffee, I go in, I say, what is the special for the real men do eat quiche of the day special? And,
I always say, hey, is there a slice of the Stacy quiche available for me?
We have it. It's Fat City's own Stacy quiche. He comes. And we have it. It's just gray steak. It's well done steak and ketchup. It's ketchup and
that's his favorite
quiche.
food. That's what Stacy Quiche loved to eat the most.
That's the quiche.
American cheese.
Yep.
That's the quiche.
That's what they have to have a song goes too. It's ketchup, steak, American cheese, Stacy Quiche, if you please.
Fantastic.
Yeah, you remember that jingle.
I
You remember that jingle we introduced back in '93?
Oh God, we played it all the time here on 108.9 The Hawk.
That was a time when people cared about these things, you know? People cared.
That was the time when someone would hear a jingle and they'd pull their car over to get a piece of steak, American cheese, and ketchup quiche because they were so moved by the
they'd come in
craftsmanship
crying,
of the song.
just a single tear.
You're right.
Just going down the
I miss those days.
Oh, God.
Now it's
miss
just
the
people
90s
crying
so
with a single
much.
tear saying, where is your Punisher flag on a Blue Lives Matter flag?
I have Never read the Punisher comics, but I'm really taken by what I assume it's about. And
the Punisher is definitely pro-cop. He loves
He
cops.
is a cop. He's like, well,
Cops.
he's like, it's my shift being a cop right now. They call me the Punisher.
And we have it. We don't have any of the comics because we're afraid of what people would learn if they read them, but we do have that symbol on everything.
You gotta do your own research, and you gotta be afraid of what you can learn when you do that.
Your
That's
own
just the key,
research.
you know?
Yes. Doing your own research requires also omitting, and that's important.
Takes at
That's
least
an important
a
part of
minute.
the research process.
And you know, look,
I
a
would
couple of
say
bad
this.
apples. And then if I knew what the rest of that phrase was, it wouldn't make sense of how I'm using it. So, I mean, I don't want to learn the rest of it. I just want to keep saying, couple of bad apples.
I will say this. I do have beef with Val Verde Sheriff Dempsey.
Oh, man.
If he's listening right
What's
now,
your reason?
He fucking knows it. A couple pull me overs for no reasons.
ACANBESD. All cops are not bastards except Sheriff Dempsey.
Oh, wow. Did you get a couple of pullovers after some of the holiday parties that you guys are so famous for?
Like, here's the thing. If you go to a 108.9 The Honk holiday party, you know it's going to be pure ass cognac.
Just
from one
rivers of
side of the
cognac.
dance floor to the next, and I'm going to be slurping all of it down.
Billy
And
Joel's
then I'm
River of Dreams was about a holiday party. It was about
was.
the
It was
river of
about the
cognac.
108.9
Here's a
The
lampshade
Honk.
on the head. It is a very raucous time.
And I get real tanked, and then I hop in my PT Cruiser.
Oh, God.
And I'm gone. I'm going right down Lane Staley Lane.
Eyes closed down
sure.
Lane Staley Lane.
I am closing my eyes on the Vince Neil Memorial Bridge.
I thought it's not Vince McMahon. It is Vince Neil.
It is the Vince Neil Memorial
Vince
Bridge.
McMahon was, however, in what were we talking about?
Road Trip.
He was in Road Trip
Old
and
school
in
Road
Roadhouse.
Trip. Okay,
It was
yes.
Breckenmeyer.
Yes.
It was
Breckenmeyer.
DJ Qualls.
Waltz.
It
R.I.P.
was that-
DJ Qual. Rest in
R.I.P.
power.
DJ Qualls. It was that guy who we never saw again, but he was in Josie and the Pussycats, and it was Vince McMahon.
Exactly.
Right.
Those were
Everyone
the
always thinks it was
Fantastic
Tom
Five.
Green. Everyone always thinks it was Tom Green, but
It's
no.
not. It was the guy.
Vince
It was the
McMahon.
guy.
Yes. As Vincent McMahon famously said, Austin, Massachusetts. Vince McMahon.
Exactly.
Vince
Exactly.
McMahon. But Sheriff Dempsey pulls me over,
Oh, my God. This guy.
and he's wearing a Punisher T-shirt. And I just want once. I'm going to bring in a Punisher comic book, and I'm just going to put it on your shelf, Geet. And, Sheriff Dempsey, he's in there at least 4 times a day.
Oh, my God.
He's going to pick it up and be like, oh, what is this? What is this? And he's going to read it, and it's going to be like he found the horse's head in
the horse's
Godfather.
head.
I hope he likes pictures. I hope he likes pictures of men built like refrigerators holding Tech 9s from the 80s and just
That's all he likes.
blasting
He
away
does
all
like
of his
those.
opposition.
He really does like those. He told me the first time he pulled me over.
Yeah.
So he's really
That's how
gonna
he
be into
starts
that.
when he pulls you over. He's just like, you know what I like? Right away. And he just starts explaining it. It's
You know
kinda
what he does
yeah.
like, and I've noticed because he's made requests from the stores,
What's that?
Lobo. He likes the comic. He likes the comic.
I could never get into Lobo.
anti-hero
I could never get into Lobo.
Oh, funny.
You like-
funny and
you
not
like an
funny all at the
80s
same time.
If you like an 80s motorcycle man,
Man.
I do.
and you
I
like
do.
chains,
My God,
I
I
do.
and
do.
you like Generation X irreverent humor.
Well, I'm a boomer.
If
but
I'm-
I do
if you
like
like
it.
an alien clown from hell,
Oh, my God.
we've got a man for you in the sheriff.
Isn't that
Dempsey.
when comics were really great? Is when everyone had their version of Lobo. When
Couldn't
everyone,
make
it was
it
just like,
now.
let's get an anti-hero in here. Let's get Cable in here, and he's going to be kind of a pain in the ass.
Yes.
But he's
We
going to
need
look
someone-
great. He's going to look great because his arms are going to be humongous, and his legs are going to be so tiny.
His arms are pornographic. I would
Oh,
say.
pornographic.
Oh, that's
And
what
I
everybody
own a
says,
First
I've heard.
Amendment bookstore.
And
so
you're,
I
that's,
do.
that's
You
saying
do.
a lot. That's saying
Geet's
a lot.
First Amendment bookstore.
You see
in
those
adult
arms, you're like,
Emporium.
I'm going to go read a David Icke book over here because I need to chill F out. You know what I'm saying?
I recognize veiny tubes of meat like Cable's arm.
Oh my God!
I like to
rented
ta-
veiny
it's
tubes of
veiny
meat the
tubes
other
of
day
meat.
because
Oh.
I got mixed up into it. I was like, which one is this?
So many pockets wrapped around those veiny tubes of meat too, holding various
another
things.
quiche favorite every Thursday. Veiny
Oh,
tube of
veiny
meat.
tubes of
Veiny
Quiche.
tube of meat's fantastic. A tribute to Rob Liefeld. R.I.P. Rob Liefeld.
Rest in power, Rob Liefeld. You get those tubes of meat from Hickory Farms,
Oh my God.
and you you don't even unwrap it or anything. You just shove it right into a quiche.
Right
and I'm
in your
like,
throat.
one veiny tube of meat quiche, please.
Like the kielbasa
Geet's got
queen
it.
on an old Howard Stern episode. Just get it. Just, you know how it works.
If you're hungry now,
If you're
you
hungry
can
now.
eat the whole piece of quiche with that that piece of meat jamming out of it. But you could
Piece
eat
of quiche.
That's
around it,
Cable's
and then you
motto.
Yeah, it
can-
is.
exactly, and you can hold that meat for later.
I love Rob Liefeld's art so much that Turlington Manor is literally covered with just gigantic chested men.
Sure.
I bet
Who
it,
are,
just
like,
looking at you,
weird
I imagine that you're a
proportions.
big Rob Liefeld fan.
I feel like I am a Rob Liefeld character. Like my body, like God makes others, Rob Liefeld made me.
Oh wow!
Now, granted,
That's
you
why
also
I have
you also
tattooed on
cover
my
the
arm.
walls because that's like a very easy building material because there
Oh,
were
it's
just
so easy.
so
You
many
just-
issues
you just
of
so-
X
We
Force
should
and
put what
X
you
Men
just
when they
said.
got
Mutants.
rebooted for the
All
billionth
new
time.
mutants on the wall.
I
We
mean,
should
when
put
they
what you
when they
just said
print
on a
6
tapestry.
million of every
I've
episode.
got it tattooed.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Geet, it's been so good talking to you. I hope you coming to the Rock and Roll RV today gets people going down to Geet's First Amendment Bookstore and Adult Emporium, and dare I say, a little bit of something for everyone.
It is.
We will get you going if you get going down to Geet's First Amendment Bookstore and Adult Emporium.
I remember that song. We'll get you going if you get going to Geet's First Amendment.
Is that by
Bookstore.
Slade or Rose Tattoo? I can't remember.
That was Slade.
That is a
did
Slade
that.
song, yes.
That was a Slade. And then Quiet Riot tried to rip it up.
Do it again. And everyone's
it
like, we
didn't
love your
work.
original song.
And we have pictures of all of the guys signed down at the Emporium. They're a little yellowed and a little dusty, but we like looking at them.
You come down there and you get it all, something for everyone. Hey, Robbie, I'm going to play a metal song for you going into this break. But before that, I do want to say, coming up 9 o'clock hour, Peter Cetera coming in. And he's going to, it's always a fun time when Peter's in here. He's just
I
telling
think
all
he's just
these
going to do a
stories.
Sudoku with us.
I think he's just going to do it. It's a Cetera Sudoku.
Cetera
it's his
Sudoku.
It's his latest book. It's his latest book of his favorite Sudoku puzzles. That
I love
he's
his
had
collections of
the
Sudoku
hardest
better than
time
Will
doing.
Short's. Will Short's can
Oh,
go to
my
goddamn
God.
hell for all I care.
I am a man who likes to do Sudoku. I know he's going to sing that when he's in here in the 9 o'clock hour. Right now, Robbie, this is for you. Are you ready, buddy?
Of course I am. Is this going to be the new Dying Fetus?
Yep, it's the new Dying Fetus. It's Carry On. Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young on 108.9 The Hog.
You screwed me.
I did. And ladies and gentlemen, what was referred to as a fever dream in a commercial break is over. And now we are here with Alex Steed.
Oh my gosh, thanks for taking me on that journey. I had not taken mushrooms today.
No.
But it feels like any other day that I do.
Yeah, I literally, like...
As a 45-year-old straight edge man, this is just my brain. It's just always
Yeah,
a fever
this
dream
is
like
so-
this.
This is what is so special about what you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We write notes of like, there's so much stuff we didn't even touch on today that
That's
are in
amazing.
the notes and everything.
Well, you have all the other days, which is perfect.
Oh,
we have
my
other
God.
days to not get to them and just
to not get to them. Yeah, because like what we have an idea of what it's going to be going into it, it never goes that way. And
Of
that's the
course.
beauty of it. And that's what we like to do here on 108.9.
It's very much appreciated. It was actually interestingly therapeutic because my character and everything was just drawing from people who would run video stores out of their houses in the town I grew up in.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, where was this?
In Cornish, Maine, which is a town of 1,200 people. We had 1,200 people. We had 3 video stores.
Wow.
And one was just run out of a racist man's house. Like
Sure.
he'd go in
Oh
and
my
like talk
God.
about being in Vietnam and not liking having to be around soldiers of color. And he would also had a really extensive horror selection.
I was going to say,
Oh
then he has
my-
a bootleg of the guinea pig series or something.
Exactly.
my
So I was like
God.
really drawing from people that we knew. And then there's a guy who's still in that town who just like walks around all the time, who's a classic. He's always wearing a Leonard Skinner shirt, and his name's Geet. So I was like, that's what
That's
we're doing.
great. Yeah, I was picturing Mad Mike Super Video, which is where my girlfriend in high school worked. And she would often, I'd pick her up she did the end shift, and she'd be like, can you come early? Because I have to restock the porn room. And she's like, it's really tight, and guys like rub against me.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'd like walk in, I'd be like, oh, you only have a golden shower section? You don't have just like regular porn?
Yeah.
I also worked at a video store that wasn't even of the three. It like came in later in the town, and we had a back section where the problem with working there, and I'm sure your girlfriend at the time could attest, is you see everyone's dad.
Yeah,
like everyone's.
Yes,
it's such a small town, and you just see everyone's dad, and then you just pretend like they're not renting from the note, because they have to go. There's a notebook, and they have to select what they want from the notebook, and then come and bring it to you. So there's no way. It's not like they bring a box where it's like the box. You have to acknowledge like what they were renting.
And it's probably like all the church
Follies, Volume 3.
It really reminds like that scene from Clerks where he does the porn order on the phone in front of the parents. I was like 14 or 15 doing being that guy for other people.
Dream job.
My God.
Dream job.
Well, Alex, you are the host of You Are Good.
Yes.
A feelings podcast about movies, and it's a great podcast. I just recently listened to the episode with our very good friend of the Hawk, and was previously on here as a very, very dedicated Zappa fan, Julie Klausner.
Oh, good. Oh,
and
my God.
That Cape Fear episode is so good.
Julie Klausner.
Oh, Julie's the best, man.
Julie so much.
Julie
so
rules.
Much.
Julie rules.
And everything best.
Everything you guys were talking about Cape Fear just hit home for me. I was just like,
well, you know what we just watched? It's so funny that you're talking about it up front, because we're doing a live show tonight, because we just watched Roadhouse last night.
Shit!
And so you guys are doing the Roadhouse. I was like, hell yeah. And we're doing this presentation before about like bouncers in history and stuff. And like wild people, like, do you know Pope Francis was a bouncer before he went into
I did not.
That's fantastic.
There's Justin Trudeau was a bouncer. Every member of WWE was a bouncer.
I don't see how Justin Trudeau would be an effective bouncer. He doesn't seem very.
Question.
Oh, he was jacked.
Is it like karate?
Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, killed a guy when he was a bouncer.
Look, you gotta keep that bar safe.
I thought you were going into Robby there for a second, Jeff. I was like, wait, what?
Like our friend Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse, he killed a guy.
My God, that is the beauty of Roadhouse. You're just like, this is all for the sake of like a bar.
It's
like
all
of your ethics. It's all for a bar.
That's what he's mulling it over. Yeah, but so You Are Good at Feelings podcast about movies. The whole idea is we're movie fans, but we're certainly not movie critics. And the idea is our guests come and talk about a movie that's close to their heart for some reason, and we use it as an opportunity to talk about everything that the movie touches on. Rather than going like, this scene was well shot, because we don't give a shit.
I love that angle of because I was a cinema minor in college, but I don't remember much of that shit. I don't remember much of college.
If you had a screen grab of the three of us right now, it looks like three guys who had a cinema minor in college.
I was a cinema major, so yeah, we got
I was a philosophy major.
I was a philosophy minor. So
we're all talking about a trip to the moon.
We're this close to talking about Foucault, like probably in about 2 seconds.
I'm shocked Michelle has not made an appearance. You guys, you should absolutely have Foucault on as a character.
Well, yeah. Jeff could do it. Yes. Jeff could do it.
Yeah.
An old French pervert.
Yep.
One question we always ask our guests here on 108.9 The Hawk is, what is your personal connection with classic rock? Did you grow up listening to it?
I didn't really grow up with, although my first tape was like Aerosmith's untitled, like their first tape. So like that, it was like very much in me. My sisters are all from the North Shore of the Boston area, and are of an age where they were like hanging around Aerosmith, because they're like a generation older than me. Yeah, and so like lots of drugs, lots of like hard living women hanging around the whatever, the Toxic Twins. Very, very funny, but. I grew up on listening to shows like this.
Hell yeah.
Every day from my not even my teens, in single digits on. There's a show in Maine, like a morning drive time show for WBLM, which is the classic rock station, hosted by the Captain, and at this time, no longer, the Captain and Mark Persky. So there was the Captain.
God, I love that.
And then there was Mark Persky. And I don't know the real reason Mark got fired, but he started taking stances on the Iraq war, and he just wasn't on the radio anymore.
There you go.
Against the war? And they're like,
he was against the war, and they were like, this is classic rock.
On classic rock.
You gotta
my God.
chill. I think there might have been other stuff going on behind the scenes, but
he wouldn't come up with his own nickname, so they just wanted to kick him out.
He was like a real classic little, like kind of like a little twerp, basically, and I loved him so much. But this is a format that I know so well, and I love it the most. So I think it's like as you guys are nailing in the show, it's like it is like this format is classic rock. Like this is like it is like it's like the dark matter that surrounds the stars and all that stuff.
I mean, it's like one of the reasons we do our like separate like Hawk Rock Talk where we talk about a band is to like try to find, because there's some it took me years for some bands to escape the dark matter of classic rock and to realize, oh wait, I like Thin Lizzy when it's not accompanied by a bunch of jagoffs and they're only playing The Boys Are Back in Town. Like, and then I was like, oh, it took me years to realize they're one of my favorite bands, but they're bands that are connected to that personality so much where it's almost like you can't hear Boston without hearing your opinions about the war.
There are bands, I think like we've all spent a lot of time in the Northeast, and I think there are, because Jeff's from Connecticut, and I do think there are bands that are just slammed down your throat by classic rock. Like we're going to do a Hawk Rock Talk about Springsteen, because I know there's a lot of Springsteen that I know Jeff would like that isn't Nebraska.
For sure. For sure. A lot. Yeah.
But so much of it is just, especially in the Northeast, it's Billy Joel or Springsteen twice an hour. Every hour.
For sure. So, no, and I was shocked. To come, not unlike what you both have just said in some way, is like, I was shocked to eventually find that I liked Billy Joel, because I was like, it's not just these like 4 songs that they play on the radio all the time. Like he's like actually like an incredible pop songwriter in a way that I was not aware of. But and it's like really paid off in a way, I feel like, because like, people who are they're like, I remember early I was seeing like Of Montreal play at like small clubs before they were playing like stadiums and stuff, and they would cover like deconstructed versions of like More Than a Feeling, and like they could go like 15 minutes long, and you're like, oh, these are my people, like they get it, like they're fucking indie rock and like metal nerds and like and queer or whatever, but they love More Than a Feeling.
Oh god. I mean, if you're in punk and hardcore and metal like I was, like it's like there's also the like long time where you're like, I'm not supposed to listen to that stuff, and then there's a reason why Genesis is my favorite band, but not until my 30s.
Well, the thing,
because I never listened to them. Like, truly,
did you have that thing click for you when you learned that the Ramones' favorite band was the Bay City Rollers? Like, I feel like I was like, it was one of the things where I was like, oh, okay, it was like almost permission.
Yeah,
and then I was like, oh, you guys are all cheeseball, like the Misfits, basically covering like
doo-wop.
60s doo-wop songs. I was like, oh, you guys are all just fucking nerdy cheeseballs about the rock that came before you.
Like, even what I remember, like the singer and to my band, like weird, like I was like, oh, I don't like indie rock, and then he was just like, Built to Spill just says Neil Young, and then I was just like, all of a sudden I was like, wait a second, it is. Like, it's just like, Jesus. Sure. And like, it took that and Cortez the Killer cover. I was like, it's just Neil Young, because I was only thinking of it in the context of it's on 120 minutes.
For sure.
Or 88.7 WNHU plays at the college radio station.
Yeah. And I have like, I love people who have reverence for it. I was just on Dave Holmes has a trivia show. I was just on Troubled Waters, and I was just on his show, and like when they pitched it, the idea of being a trivia show makes me want to die.
Sure.
And when it was pitched to me and they said it's Dave Holmes' trivia show, I was like, man, like, because like to me he was like such a towering giant when I was a kid, because like he was like clearly a music nerd.
Yep.
I love that so much. I love people who are into this.
Yeah, I voted for Dave. I voted for Dave against Jesse Camp back in the day.
Yes, of course, right?
I said, make America Jesse again.
Because I related so much to Dave, just being a music dork and like knowing all that. I'm like, oh, there's somebody like me. This is really wonderful. And no, Dave's amazing. Some amazing podcasts. And you're amazing, Alex. Thank you so much for being here. Your podcast is amazing. What day does it come out for everybody?
It comes comes out on Wednesdays.
Perfect.
So check us out. We have 150 episodes now. So if you are getting into it and looking for something new, you'll have something to do for 150 hours.
There you go.
That's amazing. That's amazing. It is called You Are Good. You can get it where podcasts are got. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you guys. This was so fun. A real highlight.
We got to have you back. We got to figure out what's going on with GEET.
I look forward to it. Thank you guys so much. Take care.
And thank you for listening to 108.9 The Hawk, the world's greatest comedy podcast about classic rock radio. You can support us by going over to our Patreon. That's patreon.com/1089 The Hawk. Check out our website, 1089thehawk.com. And hey, maybe give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. That would be wonderful. That's how you support the show. Listen, subscribe, tell your friends, and we will see you next time on the next episode of 108.9 The Hawk with Jason Gore and Jeff Garlock.